You're listening to Two Chunks and a Hunk, a movie podcast where we give pumps and dumps.
Hello and welcome to Two Chunks and a Hunk. My name is Jordan Wonders, and this week I am your chunk.
I'm Doge, and never chunk, or chunk. But if you must chunk in the arms of the one you love. If you must chunk away from bad company. If you must chunk death. And if you must chunk in the moments that take your breath away.
And I'm Carter. Life is not the amount of hunks you take. It's the moments that take your hunk away.
I don't ever want to take your hunk away. I want to give it to you.
So why did you
why
say?
are you that?
So here's what's crazy about this one. There's some like futuristic time travel stuff going on with this hunk right now.
Okay.
Because I'm planting a flag on what I hope to be a reason that I'm a hunk.
Okay.
That hasn't happened yet. We're doing an interesting thing today to where we're recording 2 weeks worth of stuff on the same day. If I may be
So bold.
so vulnerable.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm going back to the lake house, technically from the day we're recording right now, tomorrow. The lake house in which I punched dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When I dove straight into a herd of dogs.
Yeah.
Yes.
A gaggle of
Yes.
puppers.
A murder of dogs.
Yeah, I believe it's called a murder.
So I'm going to be back there with all those dogs again.
Yeah.
But I'm the hunk because I'm going to refrain and I'm going to let the dogs be dogs.
And you're not going to punch
You're going to punch any of them.
I'm not punching any dogs, and that makes me a hunk.
I like
but
that.
That's what's crazy about this. That hasn't happened yet.
So maybe you will.
But what's funny,
What if you accidentally do?
you won't even find that out until late July, mid-July, when we actually record again, whether or not I did. But
Wow.
I'm saying...
Was that our Avengers Endgame episode when you told that story?
No, it's way longer ago than that, I think.
I thought that was when we had the hunk off.
Oh, it might have been.
Yeah, I think
might
that was
have been.
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Really?
Don't listen to my contribution to that hunk off because that's a story I want to outlive.
Yeah.
Is that the trash?
Is it the what?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What a great day that was.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, that's why I'm the hunk. I'm not going to do it. I'm
Fair
telling
enough.
myself now I'm going to will it. Speaking of wills,
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah.
And movie we review now.
Yeah. Which, of course, is Hitch. Wow, that was a quick one.
That was fun.
That was a quick one. Hey, Doge.
Hey, yeah.
I'd love if you could give me a synopsis hitch for this movie.
Dude, that was so clever.
Thank you.
Are you ready
Is this the big thing you
to
promised us
have
before?
your brains exploded?
This is the thing.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like sitting in the exit row of an airplane. I need you to look me in the eye and say yes.
Yes.
Yes, I am capable of fulfilling the task.
This week's synopsis is written by Nick Reganas. Does that name sound familiar to anyone?
Whoa.
We've read one of his
Yes.
before. So I did a little bit of searching.
Was he Sleepless in Seattle?
I don't remember which one he was. If there's a listener out there who can tell us which episode we read Nick Reganas' synopsis of,
It was one of these, wasn't it?
here's the deal, everyone. I searched Nick Reganas. This dude has authored the plot section of nearly 3,000 IMDb movies.
Holy moly.
He has authored the plot section of 2,975 titles. Isn't that amazing?
So that would explain to me why the plot section of IMDb is always utterly useless.
This is crazy. I want to get this guy on our show so badly.
Well, I was just mean about him.
He doesn't listen.
So
He doesn't have time to listen to
crazy to me.
podcasts. He's writing plots,
He's writing
dude.
plots.
I mean, how long does it look like a paragraph per plot?
Like a couple of paragraphs. Like he's thorough.
This man has written a book.
So let's say it takes him 5 minutes. 5 minutes per plot.
Well, I'm talking about like the amount of words. Like if 4 plots equals a page, then he's still writing upwards of 500 pages worth of plot.
So if it takes him on average 5 minutes to write a plot to a movie, and this is not counting watching all of these movies, this is just writing the plot of them.
Right.
He has spent,
Who's to say he's watched the ones he writes? The
That's
plot?
for
fair.
real, he has spent 10.3 days of his life writing plot synopses on IMDb.
10 days
Holy moly.
straight.
Yes.
Wow.
Nick Reganis, thank you for your sacrifice.
Well, give us that.
Thank you for your
cream of the crop.
service.
Hit me.
I'll hit you.
There it is.
Nick Reganis, the plot doctor, writes, pivoting around the eternal game of
Wait, I'm sorry.
love.
The plotter.
The ploctor. Pivoting around the eternal game of love, the suave matchmaker and New York's greatest date doctor, Alex Hitchens, guarantees that any man can get the girl of his dreams if he overcomes his fears and follows his infallible advice. However, when the timid accountant, Albert Brenneman, wants to win the attention of the rich and beautiful heiress Allegra Cole, Hitch will discover his perfect match. The inquisitive gossip columnist, Sarah Milas. Now, the self-assured charmer is in need of his own services to save his relationship. Can the silver-tongued expert of romance survive the delicate complications of love?
Oh, my.
That's actually a pretty good.
That was
pretty good
great.
synopsis.
Nick Reganis, you
madman.
You are a wizard among men.
Yeah.
You're incredible. And
I want you to come to my birthday party.
Please, don't stop what you're doing.
Here is what we need. And I think we can conquer any hill, any mountain. Because Jesse Awuji did an intro for us. Famous NASCAR driver.
We need Nick to do a synopsis for us.
For a synopsis of 2 chunks. A synopsis of what we do as a podcast.
Yep.
I love it. We got to find a way to. Is his username his full email address?
It is not.
Let's see what
find
we can
him.
do.
We'll
see
find
what
him.
we can do. So Hitch, huh?
So
Yeah.
Hitch.
Our movie begins, as all great movies do, with a voiceover of meaningless platitudes.
Meaningless platitudes.
And the movie continues sort of as just a movie full of meaningless platitudes.
Well, hang on. I think people are worried, though.
And then the end of the movie is just kind of full of meaningless platitudes.
I think people are really worried, though, whenever we start talking about this movie. And I just want to set the record straight. Will Smith does, in fact, look directly into the lens of the camera at the beginning and end of this movie. I know people were worried, and that's kind of a thing you look for. And
Like, does Will Smith look directly into the camera
does
here?
it feel like he's looking at me? And
Oh,
it does.
yeah.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
So you can go ahead and watch
He
it.
looks. Don't worry. He looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't honestly remember. I just watched this movie and I don't remember how it starts.
It starts
It's
with
all the examples of
all the examples.
He's giving all the advice or
yeah.
basically
One of the
setting
guys-
up
the
what
different
he
guys.
does. Yeah.
With the different guys.
One of the
Yeah,
guys is the reporter guy from
It's a double. Yeah,
Sweet Home
we've got
Alabama.
him, and then we've got the fashion
Yep.
designer again too, who's Eva Mendez's
Zoolander.
boss or coworker,
Yep.
and from Sweet Home Alabama, because this is the Sweet Home Alabama director.
Wait, is it really? That explains
Okay,
so
there
much.
we go.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense.
Director of Sweet Home Alabama. I'm sorry, Babalama.
Babalama.
Sweet Home Babalama.
Sweet
That's
Home
right.
Babalama.
That's
Babalama.
right.
I do know that one.
Yeah,
So we get the compilation of all the dates at the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we get Sarah Milas doing her thing, coming back from vacation, right?
Yeah.
This is after Hitch kind of goes through his whole like any guy can do anything as long as, and when his mind is set to it, don't even worry about it because women don't have any brains and they'll fall for any dude.
here's the thing though, we can talk like that. But we know that kind of wraps it up in the end. That doesn't make it like he learned something from this.
Right.
So that would have been like a bad news bear
Sure.
if it was like, oh,
And that's where the plot stays.
yeah.
Sure. And it doesn't. And he learns that he's wrong. And I do like that.
I do like that.
I do like that a lot. That it changes.
So my super pump is the plot. And I know that's crazy
It is crazy.
because I'm fine for it to be like way out there. I'm fine for it to just be like, it just seems like a mess. And I don't know why it's attractive to me, but like gossip columnist with it's just so weird.
Yeah.
But I don't love the movie, but I did like the plot, and I don't think I've really seen anything
Yeah.
like that.
I think the premise is really interesting if he works for the newspaper.
Right.
Like if they write together, if she's the gossip columnist and he's the relationship columnist.
yeah.
And
Sure.
calls himself, like if it's like a Dear Abby thing and he calls himself the date, it's like Dear Date Doctor.
Well, I got good news for you in a couple of movies, my friend, but we're not there yet.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a shotgun firing of plot holes in this plot.
Oh my goodness, so much.
But I'm down. It fit Will Smith to seem to have like this suave type vibe
I
to him.
believed him as that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're talking about it, how many women do you think have been approached at a bar or something by some dude who really thought that he was just nailing the first part of this movie without learning the lesson of the second part of this movie? And by that, I mean, how many guys do you think have gone up to women and done the whole like, no, but like an interesting guy, like he would stick around and you would say, well, your name is, and that's what I do. And I would introduce myself like that. And like, but I wouldn't do that thing because that like,
Sure.
And how many women do you think have just been like, please leave me alone?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
weird. But dudes thought they were just killing it.
Yep.
Many.
I really think that this movie helped launch a lot of the like pickup artist desire from people.
Like 2005. This is 2005.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe?
Yeah. That keeps
I don't
me
know.
out.
I just feel like that's been around for a long time. I just think of all the like 80s high school movies and there's all the pickup lines.
No. But I'm talking about somebody who's like, because you know how they're like now it's like subscribe to my website and I'll teach you how to pick up women in 30 seconds, like that whole thing.
Sure.
Like I think that's what I'm talking about. Like these guys that are like, no, I'm a genius at it.
I don't know, dude. I think there's been a lot of characters in pretty famous shows that are that. I mean, we had Barney in
Barney.
Right,
Yeah.
but it's always painted as sleazy.
Fonzie.
It's always painted as sleazy.
Wait, so you're saying it's a nice thing? I thought
Well,
you're still
because-
saying it's sleazy.
Well, no. I'm saying that in this movie, it's painted as like he's doing it for the right reasons. And then guys have taken it and not learned that part of the lesson, is what I'm saying.
I got you.
Because it was painted as like he's a good person and he cares about relationships, people were able to watch that and go, so it is okay to do that.
Right.
And then walk over here
So,
and be
Maybe
sleazy.
this is the point to talk about it. I feel like we're going to get there. Like, this is kind of the end of the movie, but we're here now. I hate the lesson, like the justification that we give for why he's doing this. That
because he doesn't want to be ever hurt again.
No, that he's supposed to be like, I just help women get out of their own way. That is so
that's
unbelievably condescending.
It is.
But
That
that's
is
not the
real
end.
crappy. That's the point that he makes, though. Like he never wavers on, I'm doing this to help women get out of their own way.
Yeah. His
But I think when they brought up the fact that the women don't even need him. Like his job is useless in the end, right?
For
Albert, I don't think
I
that,
thought he got a feeling that it was like that for everything now.
maybe.
if that's the case, it needs to be a lot more clear.
I feel
I
that.
can get on board with that. Like if that's the lesson he learns, I can get on board with that. But I don't think the movie ever really made it clear.
It did for me, but that's
What? So what about it made it? When was your moment of flipping?
when she's talking about everything. She was like that. She felt like he was responsible for Blart or for Kevin J. Albert. All the things that she admired about him, that she thought he coached him on, were the things that were naturally him.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "I did nothing." Like he had this
But
realization.
Is this before or after he says, "But would you have noticed him though?" And she's like, "Yeah." Well, maybe not. Because I feel like that line is in there. I feel like that's in there to show us he helped her. He like got her out of her own way and got her to notice the guy
I can
she wouldn't
understand
normally
why
go
the movie
for.
would want to do that, to show us that Will Smith is not worthless to anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it kind of, nothing is tied up. There's no loose ends technically tied up here. They
That's
just
true.
see each other. I can see them both.
Sure.
No one ever tied them, but they're there. So
Yeah.
maybe I was doing too much for it. But I think my super pump came from being so happy that they expounded on the most interesting thing about the plot in this. No matter what direction they took it.
Yeah.
And it's his job. And it's like
Yeah.
his job and the relationships that are formed from his job. Like this was, if they had done such a much better job with focusing solely on I'm coming to get a divorce, like the stuff that we thought was interesting about Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah.
Right.
I almost did it again.
Sweet Home Babalama.
Sweet Home Babalama. And I don't know, maybe this is an optimist super pump, but
No, I feel like that moment for me was a similar moment of the like I'm here to get a divorce.
Sure.
That moment in this to me was when the guy who was going out with Sarah's friend revealed that he just wanted to play Wii Sports.
yeah.
And then Hitch bails.
Yeah.
And then that comes back later where he's like, you're tanking my whole career for something I didn't even do.
Yeah.
That was a good like, oh,
Do you
okay.
think? Do you think their jobs are supposed to have the same amount of wrong? And do you think they actually do? Like the fact that she's a gossip columnist.
Yeah, I think that's
like-
kind of nasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you also think what Will Smith is doing is kind of nasty too,
I do.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
So I don't know why in my world I felt like they're probably going to both drop those jobs and do something different. I don't know why
Seemed
I
like
felt
it.
that way.
It seemed like maybe because he made the point
Because
of like,
they
do you
both
hate
realized.
her?
Yeah, that's what I
He's
thought
like,
the
do you hate
redeeming
Allegra
thing
Cole?
was.
You just want to tank her like that badly?
Yeah.
Which I did actually like that point.
Because that's the stuff that got in the way of what they believed was like their love for each other.
Sure.
Yeah.
This was a career roadblock of the drawbridge kind of theme here. Like my career is what's keeping me back because I have these obligations. Anyways.
Yeah, but if that's the obstacle, they never overcome it, right? They don't. If the career is the obstacle, what's next?
Maybe we don't see them overcoming it, but we do see them at the lowest point because of it. I think
they
their
don't
job
overcome
is
the
what-
obstacle. They just acknowledge the obstacle.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, we do never see them make any change.
Yeah.
We never see them make change. There is an implication that a desire for change has been reached,
Yeah.
Sure.
but there is no change ever reached.
So was Tom's change in 500 Days of Summer that he's going after actually being an architect and he gets to the interview? Because we don't see anything come from...
Well, I think
Like,
his
do we feel
literal-
like he's falling right back into thinking you
No,
just fall
I
in
think-
love once?
I think his change is the death of his old mentality. It's the same as Summer's change. They're mirror protagonists in that way. That
So you say we don't really... We see a hint of the death of their mentality in Hitch, but we don't actually see the death of their mentality?
we see them acknowledge maybe my mentality should change.
Well, I also think we're comparing apples to oranges in a way. I don't think that 500
a
Days
good
of
movie
Summer...
to a not good movie?
No, I think that 500
I
Days...
think we are. I'm agreeing.
Well, that's part of it, but I think 500 Days of Summer is not a movie that asks for change. I think it's a movie about like should he stay the same or not? You know, should he remain in his dreams? Should he allow himself to have those hopes?
Yeah.
And we watch him change careers, but the thing that we want him to change, it's kind of the thing that we hope he keeps.
Yeah.
Is like this desire for love. And then we see that he did keep it alive and we're led to believe maybe this is the one.
Yeah.
I
we
feel
can
like
just
that's
think
the
about
big
it.
difference with Hitch is we're never quite sure what direction to paint our protagonists.
Are we wanting
traveling.
change?
Yep.
Or we want
Like what direction are they moving? They're this static thing and they're doing their thing, but what are they moving toward? Like,
Yeah.
what's their goal? What are they trying to become?
Yeah. I'm interested to see what y'all super pumps are because the reason that was for me is because that's the idea of the plot is that what brought the most joy.
Yeah,
From
sure.
this movie.
It's really, really catchy.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know.
I'm confident in my super pump, and we're actually getting pretty close to it. So I want to
Cool,
get there.
cool,
But
Really? Because we haven't made it past the opening credits.
yeah,
That's good
true.
though, but this also feels like the kind of
Yeah.
movie that there's not going to be a lot
Just
of
got to
time.
bounce around a little bit.
unpacking a
Hey,
lot
so
of
here's
it.
something I noticed: Hitch is a worse, crazy, stupid love.
Great. That's really good.
Multiple plot lines, things intersecting, secrets coming out about people, and somebody who's really good at making somebody. Except in Crazy Stupid Love, we get this whole point of like, no, this is for you.
Yeah.
You don't even like yourself.
Would you say that Hitch's it's almost magical what he's able to do for relationships?
Hitch.
Uh-huh.
You can make a genie joke.
I mean, this is exactly the role he plays in Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So
he
funny
is-
to me.
I think I
maybe
would have
he
liked
is the
this.
genie.
Yes.
I would have liked it if it leaned
Prequel.
more into the fantastical side. Like if this was very clearly like, if this had a similar tone to 500 Days of Summer, where it's like, this is unreality.
Yep.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And
That's
it's
good.
And if we're going to paint with broad strokes and we're going to stereotype all women and stereotype all men, do it in a funny way to show the futility of that kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Like show every woman wearing the same dress and every man wearing the same jacket and be like, there's two types of people in the world. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
lean into it and
Or
make
20
it silly.
men turning their heads as a pretty woman walks
Yeah.
by.
Right. Yeah. Which they kind of do that with Sarah at one point.
Yeah.
With that like gaggle of men,
Yeah.
which is, whatever. It's its own thing. But right after we get sort of our introductions to everybody is when we sort of end up. I'm trying to remember how we end up being introduced to Albert and with Hitch and Sarah in the same place. Is it when they are in that bar when Hitch sees Sarah for the first time?
They're in a couple bars where they're both there. I don't remember if he sees
They
her the
don't
first time
interact
they're
until,
together.
like, the second
when
one,
he's playing
maybe.
pool.
Yeah, with the dad from Atypical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also the announcer for Big Three, which is Ice Cube's like street ball 3v3 basketball league.
Really?
I've been to one before. It's amazing.
Wow.
Really?
He's like the MC. He's all over the sports world.
There's a cool video of him breaking down like his name's Michael Rappaport, and
Yeah.
there's a cool video of him like breaking down his all-time favorite hip hop albums. It's really he's like very passionate about hip hop.
He is like the dude for a lot of the rap community,
Really?
especially older rap community, like
Interesting.
90s.
I wonder if that's his connection to
2000s.
Will
I mean,
and why he ended up in this movie.
Very likely. And
Yeah.
like Martin Lawrence and people like that, all of Will's friends are probably friends with this guy.
Interesting. I really like him as an actor too.
Oh, I do too.
He's a fantastic actor.
He just gets thrown in there like a Rob Reiner, like a different kind of Rob Reiner, to where he's just being him.
Yeah.
But it works.
And I love him in this up until the point where he gets gross about the women that have walked into the bar.
Yeah,
And then I'm
disgusting.
immediately out.
Disgusting, yeah.
I'm immediately out.
Bad news.
Yeah.
Just this like, I can't even speak because of how pretty these women. And he was just in the middle of saying how much he loves his wife. I don't know. It grosses me out. Yeah. I don't love it.
Yeah, and the movie presents us as supposed to sympathize with Hitch. We're supposed to be on the same page as Hitch.
Yeah,
Like, just
but
bring him
Hitch
over there
is
and talk
gross.
to him.
Hitch is, and it's his sister. The dude's married to his sister, and Hitch is advocating for him. I don't know. So my super dump is the treatment of both men and, of the characters of both male and female, men and women. Like everybody is reduced to one note, and typically that note tends to be like often the worst note, and it's just like, and that's what men are, or that's what women are, or that's what. And
I still think there's a way to do
Do
that.
you think there is a way to do that better?
Yeah.
And it's called 10 Things I Hate About You when you're walking through the high school at the
Yes.
beginning and it's
Yes.
saying, those are the potheads. Those are all they want to do is Wii Sports. Those are those kind of things.
right,
Because that's doing the same thing.
right.
But it's just done
almost,
better.
even if it was almost like a Dr. Seuss kind of thing of like, these are the this, and they're over here. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it was like, these are women, and they're over here, and they do this. And these are men, and they're over here, and they do this. And
Like tongue in cheek.
And here's why they don't understand each other. And
Right.
it's super tongue-in-cheek
So
and
much of
super
it's-
light.
yeah.
No, this movie presents it. This movie presents its own understanding of people as the truth.
Yeah. And so much
Yes.
of it is too gray.
And
That's
that's-
why we're having trouble.
Oh, I disagree. I think it's too black and white.
Yeah.
I think it is too. I think it is too like this is the right answer and this is what people are. This is the right. Like this movie presents itself as very like. This movie was written by somebody who understands people so well because there is no tongue in cheek of any
Right.
of the description.
Right.
And so you are faced with no option but to take very seriously and literally all of its descriptions of characters.
And because of the script, because of the way that it's written, this tries to be a romantic comedy with a dramatic third act.
right.
And the romance isn't particularly good. The comedy's not particularly funny. And the drama is not particularly compelling. And so we're left with this is unsalted, unbrown sugared grits.
See, okay, I want to disagree with you there because I think it depends on which romance we're talking about.
Okay.
So do we want to take a look at our two sort of
For
relationships
sure. Yeah,
in
that's
this
all
movie?
you need.
Structurally, this episode is all over the place. And I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
It's fine.
So we have Albert and Allegra, which I haven't heard the name Allegra since that cartoon from Nickelodeon, Nick Jr.
Or the allergy medicine.
Or the allergy medicine. And we have Hitch and Sarah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Albert and Allegra first because we have less of them.
Yeah.
They are a subplot in this movie, even though they are the quote unquote main relationship that everything centers around. Like they are a subplot in this movie. And I think that reflects on how much we get depth wise. Because everything sort of begins when Albert, at Hitch's behest, stands up for Allegra and then goes too far and quits his job and like screams at his managers and all that
Which
stuff.
I guess maybe you could make the argument that like Hitch,
He'd been wanting to do
Hitch expressly told him like not to quit his job, not to blow up, and he did it, and that's the thing that got Allegra to notice him. So maybe we're supposed to believe that his own passion for Allegra was what caused him to extrapolate Hitch's instructions into the level of escalation that's necessary for Allegra to notice him. But that is way too contrived. It has to make more sense than that if we're supposed to believe that he got Allegra to notice him on his own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's how he gets her attention. Is he blows up, he quits his job, and he says he believes in her, which I like. I like that his way of getting her attention is that he looks at her and is like, I honestly believe in you and believe that you're better than this room of people. And you can kind of do your own thing. So I actually like that. I think that's cool. Basically, the rest of their relationship, we only hear about or vaguely see, and he's like faking who he is.
Yeah.
And I don't love that.
Yeah. There needs to be a moment with her where she's like, who are you? It feels like you're two different people.
Yeah.
And I love one of them and I can't stand the other.
Yeah.
So you need to figure out who you are.
Yeah. I think
where
there
I
should have
got-
been some consequence.
That's where I got like it being too gray coming from. It's like there is
Yeah,
never
okay.
like it keeps going back and forth to where we even had to remind each other without confidence where our characters end up. Because
Right.
it's like, I don't want to do my job anymore. You shouldn't do this anymore, but I should because I hate men. But now I'm back over here. Like that's the gray part to me is like no one knew. And there's a better way to like a lot of really good movies are built around protagonists that are trying to discover who they are as people.
Yeah.
This no. Like this is not doing it well.
Right.
Because it's never consistent.
What if instead the Date Doctor is like a Dr. Phil style TV show?
Yeah.
And Hitch is the star of that TV show, and his whole thing is built on these relationships. Come to find out, he's just paying actors because he's so miserable that he can't figure it out. And like none of these people are actually in love with each other.
Completely different movie.
I was thinking,
You know what
let's
I mean?
stick with the newspaper and let's make him have like a Dear Abby column where he's
Yeah.
anonymous. People don't know who he is. Dear Hitch.
Yeah.
People writing in for advice, relationship advice, and he's responding. And nobody even, he's a freelancer. He writes from home.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. And Sarah doesn't even realize that he works at the same newspaper as her.
Yeah. I
The
love
guy
that.
that she's dating.
And he's like really bad at personal interactions or something
Right,
like that.
yeah.
Like, and he's trying to cover that up, but he just needs to not try to put on this persona, not the Dear Hitch persona, but he just needs to be Alex Hitchens. And that's enough. Like he doesn't have to try to be somebody that he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that would have been cool.
Because the whole point of his deal is like, I was a dork in college and I learned to be somebody I'm not. And that's why girls like me now.
Is because I'm
And
lying.
That's gross.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Why do I feel like I've seen that in something? I'll come back to it maybe. I feel like I've seen that actual. I'm not trying to be like sarcastic. Like
Just
I feel like I've
Friends.
seen it.
It's almost verbatim, Just Friends.
Yeah. It is that a lot.
Yeah. Hard. I mean, I think it's pretty common though.
Yeah.
To have the guy who, I mean, we talked about Barney and How I Met Your Mother a second ago. Look at Barney. He was.
Jean Valjean.
I'm
kidding.
And you know him. Jean Valjean.
That's
Long
him.
Valjean.
Yeah.
Long Valjean. I saw him.
Barney was a dork and like too attached, got burned, and then was like, I'll never be attached again. I mean, that's a common trope is guy who let himself get too close.
Is Barney the character from Just Friends?
No. How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's what we talked about.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Meme.
It happens a lot with these characters. I think it's a common romance trope of the guy with the hard heart is actually a big softy. He's just protecting himself.
Yeah.
And I think it's a trope because that happens.
Yeah.
But we see it a lot.
Typically, I don't have a problem with the trope. It's just presented.
It's the way it's done.
like the grossest way possible to do that type of story in this movie.
I agree.
That's why I'm saying like
Maybe it's showing its age.
there's more like similarities to Aladdin than the joke that I made. Like it's Aladdin it doesn't think what he is good enough. And
Yeah.
so he lies his way through a bunch of stuff and thinks he knows what he's doing. And
Jafar.
This really
Jafar.
is the worst Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah.
That's kind of blowing my mind. I hadn't put that together.
all
but
I
like,
was thinking the
all
whole
of the
movie.
beats that I need from this, the moment of like, you're somebody else, we get that in Crazy Stupid Love. The moment of like, my tricks don't work on you because you want a real person, not a caricature. We get that in Crazy Stupid Love. We
Yep.
don't get that in this.
Well,
and
from-
coaching. I mean,
from
it's
the guy,
coaching. Yeah.
the guy who was changed. We
Yeah.
even get a like, that's not me. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm lost here. I'm so confused and I'm hurt and I'm scared. Like we get that moment, which is why it's so good.
Guys, I love Crazy Stupid
I know.
Love.
I know.
Which is funny because last week we did Spider-Man. There's at least 2 characters in Crazy Stupid Love that have been in Spider-Man movies.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
That's true.
Anyways, that's how my mind
crazy.
thinks sometimes.
But let's wrap up Albert and Allegra because who cares? So
My super pump is the moment that she finds out that the stuff that she actually liked about Albert was all Albert and not Hitch. The fact that she was like, I love that he danced like a goofball to make me not feel like such a dork. Like I love this, all the little stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's like these little things that he thinks are his greatest weaknesses that are preventing people from like her from liking people like him. That's the stuff that makes her realize, no, this is a real person and I love this real person.
Yep.
It was really cute. And I know that's reaching for a super pump, but
that's funny.
I liked it.
I know that Summer of Love tends to be our spiciest series because we're just so all over the place. I really didn't like that scene at all.
Really?
Which is so funny.
I didn't like the scene.
I'm glad you liked it. Like,
so let me clarify what I like. I didn't like the scene, and I don't like that she has to search through her relationship to find out what was lies from Hitch.
right.
I do like that there is genuine connection between them.
Sure.
And they seem to enjoy each other.
Sure.
That's fun and sweet.
It's so weird. Like I watched that whole scene rolling my eyes at like everything. He's put mustard because he knows that I'm clumsy and I was afraid that I would drop something on myself. So he did it first. It's just like, okay, really try hard to connect those dots. Like it was such a weird stretch to just make like, I feel like she could have been like, you told him to be like a clumsy dork, to act like a clumsy dork. No? Okay, I loved that about it. Or if she saw through it, if she had a moment of like, look, I know what you think you did for him.
Yeah.
But I saw through it all. I saw him trying to play the cool game, trying to play the long game, and I still saw Albert because like he just shines so much more strongly than your weak coaching. Like he's a good person, and I think you are too. Like that moment could have been, and it just whack for me.
I think and we talked about it before, but the reason that these seem to be the spiciest, the reason I think at least, and I don't remember if y'all agreed with me, but and it sounds like something that would be like a farmhouse, like calligraphy picture on your living room wall, but like the vessel is love. Like, and we can't, love is so hard to define and it's so different for so many people. And so when you have like it's called romantic comedy, like it is a romance. So then you're already saying from the start, I'm about to portray romance to you.
Right.
But there's a bunch of people, there's more chances someone's going to walk in and say that's not romance just because of the way they've lived their lives over other stuff that can just be plot points in movies.
Sure.
Like, oh yeah, that is action. It's tough to not know your identity and kind of be reborn and rediscover yourself and like things like that. But this is love. And like, no, it's not. And that's totally fine. And something we say all the time is love what you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is such a like...
And it's real easy to pendulum swing from this director who in Sweet Home Babalama and in Hitch clearly demonstrates that I think that my idea of love is the right one. And it's really easy for us to pendulum swing and say, hey, no, actually, we've got it right. And the truth is neither of us do.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Very funny.
That's good stuff. So before we step over into the other main relationship of Hitch and Sarah, I think first we should take one more quick pit stop for some shouting out to Mills. Welcome to Shine Diamonds!
Thank you, Colonel Sanders. All the way screaming from the mountains of Appalachia.
The mountains of Kentucky.
Mountains of Kentucky. Mountains
the
of,
11 orbs of spices.
the mountains of mashed potatoes.
The gravy peaks.
Ride the gravy train around mashed potato mountain.
I'll see.
Oh, gosh.
Foghorn leghorn.
I'm aware.
Foghorn leghorn fried up leg quarter. Our new cartoon character.
There it is. Very good.
That hurt.
You couldn't see it, but Doge just put his hands on his hips like he was a proud cartoon princess.
Or maybe a proud cartoon piece of fried chicken named Foghorn leghorn fried up leg quarter.
That could also be it. Hey, I want to give a shout out this week to Tyler Station, because we in here. And a shout out to Crumb and Kettle, because we've been drinking the same coffee for 4 episodes straight. That's 2 weeks.
2 weeks of this
2 weeks
coffee.
of episodes.
Yeah, since the last episode, we've been drinking this coffee.
That we didn't, it hasn't all been within the same morning. That's for sure.
Nope.
It has.
Okay, everyone listen up. Jordan just lied to you. We did record the previous episodes in which we were drinking this coffee within the past hour and a half of real time.
That's true.
And so I think now's a good time to say that we have, as a group, we have transcended your terrestrial time constraints, and we are now floating free in the slipstream, in the temporal abyss. We are recording this episode, and it will release, about 10 days from when we're recording this now?
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Right now, we're at like under 500 followers for Instagram and Twitter, but by that point, we will have no doubt crossed the 1 million follower threshold.
Which is a big deal.
We just want to thank all 1 million of you so much for following us on Instagram at
awesome.
2 Chunks and a Hunk, and on Twitter
Love
at
that
2
blue
Chunks. It's so good. Once again, those places that you have already followed us are Instagram at 2 Chunks and a Hunk and Twitter at 2 Chunks. All 1 million of you, our deepest, most heartfelt thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know a lot of you too. Well, I mean, not many of you anymore, but you want to, I mean, now it's just kind of, it's for you to flex a little bit culturally.
Sure.
Like to follow us or to subscribe to this podcast. And I want to let you know, like, yes. And I think even those of us in Casa de Chunk right now, we have a certain part of us that doesn't want to just join the crowd because everyone else is doing it.
Sure.
I promise the content is good enough for you to do that. No one's going to make fun of you for joining the millions that already subscribe.
Yeah,
and have
bandwagons
reviewed.
are dumb, except for ours.
Right. Yeah. No. Come on this bandwagon. There's plenty of
huge bandwagon.
comfy seats.
Oh, we got
that
good
recline
chairs.
on the back and recline your feet up.
They pop you up.
They're here. Go subscribe. Go rate. Go review. Thank you.
Since we're a movie podcast, I do have to point out this joke that we're making about our show being the biggest thing in the world in 2 weeks' time is the exact same joke that the movie Demolition Man makes about the restaurant Taco Bell. That in the future it's going to be the greatest dining experience, when in reality we all know
it is in fact the greatest dining experience.
It is in fact trash meat.
Hey, you would know.
He's done it again. He's beat us to it.
You would know.
Every time.
We'll get them next time.
Baja Blast is the best fast food drink of all time.
More like the best Baja Blast food drink of all time. And here we are with something we definitely remember to include and didn't record later. Next week's movie is The Proposal. Watch that and listen to us talk about it.
Check it out. Back to the show. Yeah, we're back.
Oh, thank you, Colonel Sanders.
Welcome on back.
Hey, I want to talk about Hitch and
We've
Sarah.
been doing that. Oh.
No, and Sarah.
The person, not the movie.
Hey, guys.
Uh-huh.
Their relationship is my super pump for this movie.
Oh.
Really? Don't love their relationship itself, but all of the funnest points of this movie are because of their relationship.
Dude, when he kicks her in the face.
Yeah.
I laughed.
So funny, dude.
Hey, Doge?
Dude, when he shows her grandpa who's a murderer's name
I
on the
laughed
paper.
at that, dude.
I
Funny,
laughed.
dude. So funny, dude.
I did too.
I laughed.
So freaking funny, dude. Will Smith freaking slays me in this one, dude.
This is the point where the movie, I feel, does the thing that you said you wanted it to do, which is become fantastical.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's face blows up from shellfish like that in that way. Like,
But you can't have it both ways.
no, you're right.
This can't be in the movie if the other stuff is too.
But it is.
Y'all can't
and
see
I
this
like
right
it.
now, but he's like right up against my ear when he does this. And it's really
Joe just
uncomfortable.
pulled his microphone over to Carter's head.
But you can't, like, I can just feel the spit mist on my
Hot
face.
anger breath. But you can't have it both ways.
You're living inside my plosives now.
Yeah.
It's CPR, but the P stands for plosives.
So the way they meet is the worst. I hate this whole interaction of like, honey, I'm sorry, it took me so long. Get out of here.
Here's the thing.
dork
I don't
worm."
remember Keanu Reeves playing Hitch, and you've done this
That's
more than
wild.
once in this episode.
Have I?
On behalf of
Yes.
someone else.
Yep.
You go to
Have I
like
become Keanu?
I love it. You go to Point Break, Keanu Reeves. Hey.
I'm sticking with it. That's my Hitch voice.
That's good.
That's my Hitch voice. But he's like,
Hitch is back.
he's like,
Now you're really gonna try and do Keanu Reeves.
you're in my head. You're in my head.
I mean, you've either got Keanu or Jeff Bridges at this point, so pick one of those. And
I
do
mean,
that as your Hitch
why
voice.
wouldn't you want that?
I'm doing Keanu, I guess. But when he's like, dang it, you're in my head 100%. When he comes over to her and is talking about like, a real man wouldn't want to do this. And like, gosh, dang it. I can't even remember what he says anymore. Oh, it's just all Keanu.
Got him.
But his whole pickup scheme.
Yeah.
with
It's
her.
gross.
It is
feels
gross.
nasty.
And again, this is what I'm saying of the like, but a real man would not be interested because he knows that he could never get a girl like you in a million years. And so it's very important, like all this stuff. I'm trying to steer.
Keanu.
I'm trying to steer outside of Keanu a little bit.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I don't like their meat cute. It's more like a meat fart.
Also, if you're gonna,
Which is what I had after the 4th of July.
also if you're gonna make that joke, it's not a meat cute, it's a meat toot.
Yeah,
right
it's
there,
way better.
man.
It's way better. But I don't like it. I like everything else though.
Can I super dump right now?
Yeah.
What the heck is the music trying to do in this movie?
It's a
Right.
spy movie.
I'm okay. Like the songs that are picked are fun, and
You know,
that's
like
fine
the
because you get that in
soundtrack
rom com all the
itself?
time. The soundtrack
Yeah.
is awful,
It's a spy
It's
movie.
so
and
bad.
it never stops.
While we're on technical things that are, I guess, artistic choices, my super dump for this movie is the cameras and the colors. This movie looks terrible.
Sweet Home Alabama director.
I don't know
It had a
what
4K option on Amazon.
I don't know what this was shot in.
There's one part where he's talking to the camera and they miss him at first. They have to
know.
find his eyes. Did you catch that?
no.
Yes,
And
it
it's
is
way
wild.
too close.
Like our focus is all over the place. Our colors are all over the place. Highlights are blown out. The film is developed poorly. The saturation is way under. The grain is way too high. It's unbelievably bad. It just doesn't look like professionals shot it. It's terrible.
it's bad.
Yeah, it's really rough. I actually forgot to mention how much I hate the fat boy slapstick humor that happens with Albert's character.
Oh,
It's
like
just,
it's
Yeah.
bud in his face.
it's
and-
just annoying. Well, and the like how everything is this
But, like-
overreaction where he's breaking stuff and like flailing all over the
sure,
place.
but what is like? Then you shouldn't have got Kevin James.
Yeah.
like his top two credits are Paul Blart.
Yeah.
like
That's
and
true.
What are you gonna do?
It's all he does.
What are you gonna do? But,
But I think you could take his role and you could pick it a Blart, but instead let's
There it
focus
is.
on
There it is.
Hitch and
I love both of their dates. I love their jet ski. She accidentally found out that her great-grandfather was a serial killer.
She didn't find out.
Or he found out and accidentally reminded her.
The butcher.
Yeah, that's all very funny.
I thought it was a profession.
It's very
Sticks her
funny
head.
later on when he throws it in her face, right? Like some sort of dark family thing
Yeah,
she's
it's pretty messed
ashamed
up.
of, that she's trying to make not her
Hey
identity.
man, that
and he
just
throws
is
it
supposed
back
to
in
be
her
showing the
face.
lowest of the low. We do things we regret sometimes.
Did he intentionally make his jet ski go out so that they could
Yes,
ride together?
For
I thought
sure.
so, too.
Chelsea and I were like, yeah, he did.
Yeah, I
But
think
there's
so too.
we paint him as being so like he thinks he's James Bond in terms of like just the suavest, smoothest boy. And we paint that as being the actual reality that he really is the suavest, smoothest boy. So we're left to wonder, did he intentionally make his jet ski go out? Did he intentionally kick her in the face to like be sweet and cute?
No. I think what they were trying to do is a those who can't do teach situation where he is bad at relationships himself, but has gathered enough information to be good at teaching others how to be good at them. They failed miserably at painting that picture.
Yeah, I think on both sides.
I agree.
He's
But
not a great teacher and he's not a great doer.
I think that's what they wanted to try and do is like he helps other people because he can't help but kick in the face and accidentally do the wrong thing and blow up because
Get
of
his shirt
shellfish
stuck,
and
yeah.
like that kind of stuff. I think we were supposed to see he's still the same dork. He just got good at head knowledge.
Yeah.
It did not come across that way, but I could see the brush strokes. They just used bad paint.
Well, it almost feels like they were going to try and use some of the things that made Albert charming and kind of give Will a few of those.
like he had them and didn't know to capitalize
Like
or
maybe
whatever.
those were the things that she would have liked, but
Sure.
yeah, that's why that was the gray. It's like, why are you
Sure.
reverting back because you actually love this girl, and so it's making you like the old
You're
you, like when
stuttery
you
or
loved the
whatever.
other girl? I
Yeah,
don't know.
Could be. But yeah, the kick, I laughed. The butcher, I laughed. The shellfish date is a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
wish we got more of them with her boss and his wife.
Yeah.
That interaction was great, and it is not long enough, in my opinion.
No,
I could have used a lot more of him being nervous
I
that
like
his
the
wife
wife's
was a
character.
psychologist. Yeah,
I
she
like
was
the wife's
great.
character a lot.
We get her for 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Him blowing up with the shellfish, but first projecting that she thinks that he's having like a psychotic break because he's nervous about hiding himself.
yeah.
Laughed a lot. Like there's so much fun stuff here that I think this is maybe the good stuff that people remember about this movie.
Yes.
Like when they think back on this movie, they probably think of Hitch kicking her in the face and blowing up at shellfish and
I
forget
remember
about
that
all
from
the
the
bad
trailer.
stuff. Yeah.
Like this came out in 2005, so I was 11. I guess this must have been on a DVD, like maybe the DVD of National Treasure that I had. Like this has to. I can't imagine that I remember this trailer 14 years later from just
Unless you
seeing
saw
it on
it a lot.
TV or like seeing it in
I
a movie
think-
theater.
In the trailer, I specifically remember seeing his face. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that
And the
stood
scream.
out. Mhm.
The
Yep.
scream in the mirror.
That stood out. That probably
And
got
they-
a lot of people.
I remember that. I remember kicking her in the face. I remember him and Kevin James kissing on the like doorstep
Yeah.
of the apartment.
Yeah.
I think those
I
like,
remember the
shiny,
dancing.
funny moments
Yeah.
are.
I wasn't going to do this until we rated it, but it's a big part of what my rating will be eventually. This movie would have been nothing without Will Smith, and it's already not much.
Yeah.
I have decided that Will Smith is not good unless there's like aliens in the movie or some big action sequence. Like it needs to be
Will
because
Smith
I mean,
needs to do action comedy.
yeah,
Yeah.
like even Bad Boys. Like he's also
Yeah.
known for that. Way better than this. He is not meant. He is trying hard to be the guy who can also get the Oscar that does all the movies we love.
Yeah.
That are just like either a summer blockbuster or something. But I
He's
don't
trying
think,
to be both Gosling and Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
yes, dude, I don't think he can do it.
I don't either.
think he can do it.
I
And
don't
that
think
makes
many
me
can
sad.
ride that line.
I don't think I realized it until I watched Hitch.
I think he's trying to be Gosling and Reynolds. Like he's trying to be both Ryans instead of being one Will.
yeah.
And where there's at least one Will, most of the time there's a way.
There's
but
a
dude.
James.
I want to talk about the big breakup with Sarah and Hitch and just how ridiculous everybody's acting in this situation.
Are you talking about the speed dating scene?
No, before that.
Before that is
In the apartment where they're
when
throwing
she comes
food
over
at
and
each
just
other.
acts like a different person, and we're supposed to be
Yeah.
like, yeah, we totally understand what's happening.
Yeah, like, I mean, I knew why she was doing it. It's just so childish and weird.
It
It's
just wasn't very good. It just
unbelievable.
wasn't very good acting.
It was bad
No.
acting
Yeah.
from both parties.
Yeah.
It was weird and like
just
a
wasn't
weird,
really good.
like, why is your way of confronting somebody about what they've done to come in and be like, I don't understand CD players? Like, that
Yep.
was so strange.
I think we're supposed to be like, she's playing into what she believes he believes women are.
Really?
I think that's.
I mean,
That was a
again, that's
Mr.
another crazy
Fantastic
stupid. This is
level
another crazy
stretch.
stupid love thing
I
right
know.
there.
yeah.
And then
Where? What do you mean?
The Gosling Emma Stone relationship. That there's this point to where she's like, I've kind of figured you out, right? Or does that happen earlier for them? Like that happens from in the bar. She's like, I'm not giving you my number.
Yeah.
And her girlfriend is like, what? Are you crazy?
This is supposed to be I figured you out, so I'm going to be what you think.
That's what I'm saying. I figured it out.
I'm going to prove to you that women are not what you think they are.
Right.
Because you think women are going to come in here and go, what's a CD player? Because you know how that's his big piece of advice is like show women CD players because they go nuts for that stuff.
Right. I just want to he was Captain America with that salad bowl lid. He blocked no vegetable hit him ever.
We didn't even talk about it last week. There was a Captain America callback in Far From Home that I laughed very much at from Jon Favreau.
Oh, yes. When he was trying to throw the shield at the drone.
That was great. That was good. And Will Smith tries to do that here and succeeds. He blocks every cauliflower and all the lettuce.
And then he throws the lettuce bowl at her, and then she angrily eats a handful of dry lettuce off her shirt and walks away.
Hey, here's the thing.
You haven't won an argument if you do that.
I did laugh at the way that she ate the lettuce as though she won. Like she ate the lettuce and was like, take that, non-lettuce eater. He also had on his coffee table a basket of not only raw, but unwashed vegetables.
How did you know they were unwashed?
There was dirt on them. It was carrots with the stem.
Those are called potatoes.
So then this probably should have been rated R. You got the dirty vegetables like that? Just out on the table?
There were dirt on the carrots. They were full blown like what's up Doc carrots, like with the green and everything. He walked over, pulled them out of the dirt and put them in a basket on his.
You chose such a creative way of just saying raw carrots.
Yeah, but
what's
that's
up Doc carrots with the green?
You know what I'm talking about.
You know, from everyone's favorite cartoon character, What's Up Doc? What's Up Doc? The rabbit? He's so funny.
Baby carrots are raw carrots, but they were not.
That's true.
These
are
full blown,
untouched.
pull them out of the ground, eat them.
Dirty?
Nasty.
Table carrots.
It's nasty. And he was making a risotto. I have no reason to believe that Alex Hitchens knows how to make nor what is a risotto.
Oh, I do.
You know how to make a risotto?
No, I'm saying, of course, he knows.
You think that's his go-to? That's the one thing he knows how to do?
It's a date thing.
Chelsea made tiramisu for me. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Hard to make. She made it. It's really tasty.
Were you expecting me to say no? So
no.
that you could. Okay.
Do you know what that
is? Yeah.
That's what happens when I go to a funeral and I have to dress really nice and it's particularly moving. I might get a tiramisu.
That's great. That's really good.
That was pretty good. I didn't like it.
No, I legitimately did.
Made me pretty mad.
A tiramisu. Or if you bend down too fast, you can get a tear in your suit.
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu. You want to rate it? I mean, we're running out of stuff to say, guys.
I'm really struggling to talk any more about this movie.
Yeah, we've talked about the end already.
It's true.
The speed dating thing.
Yeah.
Is this crazy, like everyone's getting involved? That's also a crazy, stupid love type thing.
We do get some Charles Boyle. Some pre-Brooklyn Nine-Nine Charles Boyle.
Charles Boyle.
I'm
Joe
a
Latrulio.
big fan of that.
Lots of hair.
When he's talking about German composers, which is his favorite German composer. Feels like something Charles Boyle would do, actually.
Does.
Have a really strong opinion about German composers.
For the most part, Joe Latrulio plays the same character and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm in love with it.
Yep.
I'm a big fan. Yeah, honestly, you know what? Let's go ahead and rate this movie. I'm going to pull an audible here. Call an audible, whatever you do with an audible. I'm going to do that.
Throw it.
Do whatever.
An
Say
I'm
what
throwing
you
an
want,
audible.
man.
Let's rate this movie because I'm tired of talking about Hitch. How about that? We here at Two Chunks and a Hunk have used science, something that probably nobody in this entire movie has ever heard of because I doubt they went to school, to make the scientific cinema scale.
Man.
It's perfect. And it's for rating movies. And it is as follows. The best thing we could ever say about a movie is own it, don't lend it. Buy that
don't need
poster.
this one.
The next best thing, that's buy it.
Too many syllables.
And then rent it. After that is forget it. And last, but certainly least. Sorry, stream it somewhere in there. And last, but certainly least. The worst thing we could ever say? God hath forsaken us.
on this one.
I'm going to go first. Is forget it. I wish that it didn't, that I never watched it.
Forget it. Forget it right to death. This is This is a bad one.
It's a stream it for me.
Oh!
Because I think that shows the charm of Will Smith. I'm not saying the charm of Will Smith is as powerful as the charm of Ryan Reynolds.
Sure.
Or Ryan Gosling.
Sure.
In the rom-com world. But Will Smith at least has the power to move it up.
Okay.
One thing.
Fair enough.
Guys, we talk about spicy takes on this show. This is the spiciest Casa de Chunk has, I think, ever been.
Yeah, it's really warm.
If we sound irritable, it's because we're uncomfortable.
My shirt is literally, I feel it dripping.
Would you look at that window?
Oh,
that's
man.
that's some condensation nation up there.
Is that why we're kind of cutting this episode short? I didn't even think about that.
Because we're dying?
Well, I think it's because this movie is nothing.
What else is there to talk about?
Legitimately nothing happens that we haven't talked about. It just takes way longer than it's taken us to talk about it.
One time Will Smith puts a pin into Albert's pocket and it's funny.
This feels like the movie that was written to have scenes that managers would talk about at a water cooler. This movie was written. It feels like it was written.
Did you catch that new Will Smith movie this weekend?
It feels like it was written to have lines that old dudes would just repeat and think that means they're funny.
Ooh, actually, I've got a great example of that. Yeah. Every dad I know thinks that the Q-tip dance is the funniest thing in the whole world. Q-tip, throw it away.
Yep.
Q-tip, throw it away.
Improv. Hey, wow.
Was it?
Yep.
Good for him.
Do you think there's someone in this world that Hitch is their favorite Will Smith movie?
Oh, I hope so.
I hope not.
No, I need that person to exist.
If they're a chunky,
please let us know.
And then we're probably not going to talk to you anymore.
Yeah,
JK, love what you love.
Yeah. I hope somebody loved this movie. Got voted in.
Yeah,
third place.
Someone
fourth.
Either loves
third. Yeah,
someone either loves this movie or really wanted to hear us talk trash about it. But either way, I'm glad you voted it in because that's how we get these discussions. But man, that was a brutal one.
This is a tough one. And this is probably a good time to say something that we try to say frequently. Don't manage to hit it every episode, but love what you love. Art is obviously subjective. And the three of us didn't so much love this one. But if you do, that's fine. Find the art that speaks to you and love that with your whole heart. And don't be embarrassed of the things that you like.
Did you like The Notebook more than Hitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if I rated it better, but I would rather, faced with the option to watch one or the other right now, I'd watch The Notebook again.
Wow.
So there's that. Hey, next week, we're watching a movie called The Proposal.
Such a fun movie. I'm excited.
Doge has never seen it.
I have seen it.
That's the only one he has seen.
Oh, this is new. Okay, then I don't have a problem saying I'm really looking forward to watching this one, especially after what we've just witnessed.
Me too.
The massacre.
We didn't say this at the beginning of the episode. I watched this on Vudu.
Amazon.
Apple TV? Apple?
Oh, through iTunes?
Yeah. It was a $4 rent.
I really thought you were about to say that you owned this.
I thought so too.
And I was going to be so upset.
Oh, no.
I mean, you are wearing a Hitch t-shirt. It's got the logo from the movie on it and everything.
You do have that tattoo that says Hitch.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Okay, well.
It's weird.
Do you remember in college when you wanted everybody to call you Hitch?
I do remember that.
Hey, I have one more thing about this movie that I hated. His toast, the one that was your quote at the beginning of this movie.
Oh, yeah. It's
the
rough.
worst thing I've ever heard.
The script for this movie is real cheesy.
That is the exact type of toast that wine moms would have stitched somewhere in their kitchen.
Yeah.
It's their Hitch stitch.
Nobody's safe from us.
We're coming at you.
We're not fun of anybody.
Wine moms. But here's the thing. You knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yep.
When I said that. Hey, to finish this episode, I'd like for each of us to say our name.
And have about 10 minutes of silence so we could still hit an hour.
I'd like for each of us to say our name and the cold treat that would hit the spot for us right now to alleviate this heat. For 2 Chunks and a Hunk, I'm Jordan Wonders. And a cherry limeade Bahama Bucks snow cone would absolutely annihilate the spot.
Doge, water. I really just want some water.
I want to have a shower, but it's just lemon chill ice falling on me.
That sounds disgusting.
You would not get very clean.
You find out I'm just not good at that kind of stuff.
I wanted to be
Man,
on
I
board
sure
with you.
could go for an ice bath right now that's sticky at the end.
Yeah, that's basically what you've said is like, I want to be cold and terrible.
I'd rather, instead of being hot and sticky, cold and sticky sounds just right.